Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Bets Talk. My name is Jose Cuellar, and I'm here with Omar Ibarria. And today we have a really special episode for veterans that want to build credit. So we have an amazing resource, which is Navy Federal. So what we're going to cover today is how to build business credit and personal credit through leveraging your Navy Federal accounts. So I'm pretty excited. I know a lot of people don't talk about it, but it's a game changer. So
I think it's going to be really good for everybody that's already a member, your active duty, veteran, family members that don't necessarily have the best credit
mm,
or are barely beginning with their credit. It's going to be good information. So you guys are aware that Navy Federal has their own internal credit, where if you build it with them, it doesn't really matter what your the other three credit bureaus have on your credit score. So this is going to be really helpful for young people and people with bad credit or trying to rebuild their credit.
yeah. So especially because a lot of times when you get your first or second credit card, you only get $500, $1,000, which don't really help you because if you know how credit cards work, as soon as you use over 30%, let's say you get $1,000 and you spend over $300, it's gonna tank your credit. So it makes it very difficult for you to now go and get, another credit card or get a car loan or anything like that because they're gonna give you high interest and it,
Oh
it
yeah.
goes it goes, deep into that. But
Oh yeah. A lot of people, even in the military, a lot of people get their first car, expensive cars, and they come out with 18 to 22%
mhm.
in interest, which is it's don't do that. Don't get your first car at anything above, 10%. It's ridiculous. You don't need that new car.
Yeah, so with this play that we're gonna give you, you're gonna be able to get a car with literally nothing out of pocket.
Hmm.
You can get a high limit credit card, and you're gonna be set up to get also a house with nothing out of pocket,
Oh yeah.
especially if you have at least 10% disability rate.
Yeah. Navy Federal is amazing. The resources there. You're just figuring out how to approach it and how to use those benefits that are yours. So I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah. So let's go into it. So the first one is, of course, having a Navy Federal account, right? Most of you should have one. I
Yeah.
don't see why you shouldn't have one, but if you don't, you could always just go apply. And if you, for some reason, are watching and you might not be veteran, but you are really interested, you could also get it through one of your family members or someone that you live with or like a relative. It can be like an uncle or grandpa that was in the military that could also help you get access
Yeah.
to Navy Federal. So this is a hack a lot of people don't really talk about, but it's there for you. It
Yeah.
exists for a reason. Now, the first thing you're gonna do is open up a flagship account. Usually you open up a regular check-ins account, but the flagship account counts as more internal points. Is this the internal credit score that they have for them? So once you do that, it's gonna set you up for them to see, oh, you're more serious about us. Why? Because usually you're required to have at least $1,500 in the account, or they'll charge you $10 a month. I think it's 12, 10, 12 bucks, something like that.
Yeah. Very minimal. Yeah.
Yeah, which is it's still great because if you have the money, you're good. If you don't, it's only 10, 12 bucks to build
Mm.
amazing credit. So the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go with the digital investor. You're gonna open up the digital investor accounts, which they're gonna help you pretty much invest a little bit of your money, and they're gonna see that you're using their products. The main thing they wanna see is like you're actually like using their products. You're there
Mm.
to like use their services, which in turn they're gonna say, hey, Omar's using our services. Let's lend them a lot more money.
Yeah.
Let's give them better products. Let's give them lower interest because Navy Federal, the great part about them is they're there to help you out. They're not necessarily there to make profit out of you. Like they're not like the other banks, so which is great. They want to see you win. They don't want to just get the most out of you. If that makes sense. So the next thing is opening up a CD. So you can do one or you can do three of at least $100.
Hmm.
Right? This is money you won't be able to touch for like 6 months, maybe 5, 6 months, or you can do a year. It's gonna grow by maybe 4 to 5%, which is still great, but you only need $100 for them to see that you're using their products, and that's it.
It's
It's
really, yeah, nothing at all. I mean, a lot of people spend $100, in a day, where you just
Demasiado.
put it in three CDs so you can build your credit and get things that are like vehicles, houses, internally with Navy Federal. I think that's a good give and take.
Yeah, and I think it plays two roles too because it also gets you in the habit of like saving money. Just
Hmm.
put the money there and don't touch it.
Oh yeah.
We're saying $100 minimum, but if you want to start saving money, that would be a great way. Just remember, you're not gonna be able to touch it for at least 6 months. You
Mm.
can, but then you're gonna lose the interest that you gain on it. So as long as you know you don't need it, it's a great way for you to just start getting in the habit of like putting money and forgetting about it
Yeah.
and building that internal credit.
Yeah, which is a really big, key moment for young members that are barely getting in. You want to get that new car, you want to go out and spend that money. Definitely save. If I could tell, my 18-year-old self when I first got in, to go back and save and invest in CDs, just little by little, because over a course of 10 years, $100 a month is going to be substantial for you're planning to either get out or to invest it. Even if you're still in, you could invest it and build a small business and set yourself up for retirement. So I think it's going to be a really key part for members that are still really young and
Hmm.
just barely getting into the military.
Yeah. So then the next one is it's a really great way to build credit. So there's a thing called pledge loan. And so what it means is you're gonna put in your money, your own money in your savings account. And I recommend doing at least 3,000. If you can only do less, it's completely fine. But 3,000 will be, optimal, right? So put in $3,000 in your savings account, and then you're gonna go to them and you're gonna ask them to do a pledge loan. And what it means is you're pledging to get a loan with collateral of your own money. So in simple words, you're just borrowing against your own money. So out of the 3,000, they're gonna lend you that money. But the key here is you literally turn around, they give you the money, you borrow the money, you turn around and you pay 90% down. So you can wait a couple days, 5, 7 days, and then literally go back and just transfer it. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna report you having your first, if it's your first, if you're building credit right now, you're gonna have your first loan paid off at 90%. So what this does is not only do they see that you paid off this loan at 90%, but also the other lenders are gonna see you as more reliable because they're gonna be like, okay, well, Omar just got this loan and he paid it off at 90%, 95%. So that's gonna open up the doors for you to be able to get, once again, a very high limit credit card and also be able to buy a car with nothing down and set you up to buy a house with nothing out of pocket. So,
That's gonna be good for sure. I mean, a lot of people when they get their loan, like a first loan, it takes them a while to get it back, so it takes a while to build credit. But with the pledge loan, just like you said, you get that money into the Navy Federal system. They give you that money back as a loan. You pay 90%. It builds a foundation, shows that you could borrow and pay it back in a timely manner, and that's gonna shoot your credit score through the roof, especially with Navy Federal.
yeah, so everything that we're setting up right now, it's gonna set you up for at least a 700 credit score. Like all these little moves will play in the long run because you're also diversifying your credit. Not only are you building the revolving lines of credit, but also the loan side, so the installment loans. So then the next one, which is another amazing one, is get you a $10,000 or more trade line. So what this means is you can literally ask someone, it can be a friend, it can be a family member, if they have a $10,000 card or higher that they don't really use, so that they can add you as an authorized user. What this does, it's you're pretty much gonna go and gain all of their years of history, and also the line of credit is gonna show up on your personal credit. So it's gonna drastically boost your credit score
Yeah,
right off the bat.
which the one thing to understand, it doesn't affect the person that's helping you. It won't affect them negatively if they add you as an authorized user. It just helps you because it puts it on your history for credit. So if you're 18, barely starting off, and let's say your parents have, a high credit limit card that they could put you as an authorized user, then that is going to increase your history with credit, and it'll increase your credit just like you said, like 720, 750, and higher depending on the usage of that card. But it doesn't affect the person that owns that credit card negative at all. It's just positives for you, so
Yeah.
it'll be good for.
And this is amazing because 35% of your whole credit profile is history.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if you gotta wait until you have a couple years of history, but you can just literally hack it and get someone else's credit and now show 10, 15 years of credit history on your personal history. It really does magic, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But I always tell people the main thing is don't ask, for the most part, an entrepreneur, because
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurs are high risk takers. And so if they have a credit card that they might not use and they end up using it, it's going to hurt you too.
Oh yeah, if they use
So,
over 30%
yeah.
of that
So,
limit,
so
then
as someone that is not gonna be a high risk taker, maybe your aunt or
mm,
grandpa, grandma that like they
yeah,
just have the car there, they don't really use it, that would be great.
yeah,
That's what I would recommend.
yeah. There's a lot of people that don't know if you have a credit card with $1,000 a limit, just for example, and you use over 300, it it doesn't necessarily affect you drastically, but it doesn't look as good if you use over 30% of the limit that you have on that card. It doesn't help you build, just like you said, like a really strong foundation. So always try to keep your credit cards below 30%.
And then the last one, it's called OOPS. So Optimal Overdraft Protection Service.
Mm.
Optional Overdraft Protection Service. So what this is pretty much like a small line of credit in case something happens where, something gets run through your account and it's more than what you have, this line of credit will kick in and it won't show us negative.
Yeah, usually when you open the account, they usually offer it to you as an active duty member.
Mhm.
So it gives you like a 500 limit, I
Yeah,
believe. So if
500.
you ever go over anything, then up to 500 it'll cover, which is really, it's good to have because it's another credit line that'll show up on your record.
Yeah.
So it'll be good.
So once you do all the steps, very simple, very straightforward, you're gonna be set up with a credit outside of Navy Federal, also with the internal credit score with Navy Federal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if this is true or not. I did it myself and it worked. A while ago when my credit took a hit, and this is why I learned about credit, I hired credit mentors and stuff like that. I dropped to the low 500s and I did all the steps. I ended up applying after 11 p.m. I don't know if it's true or not, but I got a $25,000 credit card with back credit. So this works. I don't know if the steps works. I don't know if the after 11 p.m. works or not, but like
It's
it's
key. It's
something.
key. Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely something to think about, consider at least.
yeah. So I would say if you're gonna do it, just do it after 11. Just get it done, and you are gonna get at least a $10,000
Yeah.
credit limit. And think about how many doors is gonna open up for you because most people get 500, $1,000. So if you can get a $10,000 or up right off the bat,
Mhm.
$20,000, $25,000, that's gonna open up the door because now every other lender that is gonna give you a credit card, they're gonna see that first credit card and they're gonna want to match it,
Mhm.
which now all your limits are gonna be huge.
Yeah.
They're not gonna give you $1,000, $2,000 because now you have a $10,000 to $25,000 credit card.
Yeah.
So with this now, and we can go deeper in another video,
Yeah.
you can go back to Navy Federal and you can literally get qualified within minutes to purchase a vehicle with nothing out of pocket
Oh
once you
yeah.
do this
No, Navy
steps.
Federal is really good at vehicle loans with their members, especially if you have a good internal credit with them. But yeah, it'll be definitely good for people. So just to retrack, to build a strong foundation, a Navy Federal credit union, an internal credit with them. What's the first step? Let's just go base steps one by one. So become
Yeah,
a member.
yeah,
After you become a member, you open up a flagship
flagship.
account.
Yep,
After that flagship account, you open up a digital investor account.
yep,
And then after the digital investor account, you open up three
three
CDs
CDs.
with at least $100 each.
Yep,
After that, you open up an OOPS.
yeah,
And after that, you wait 95 days
And the pledge loan too.
The pledge loan. You get
Yep.
the pledge loan, then you wait 95 days, and after that, you can apply after 11 p.m. Just
Yeah.
as Jose said that, track record shows, and see if that's true. And after you apply for that, you should get approved.
Yep.
I don't see, I haven't heard of anybody that hasn't gotten approved after all
Yep.
those steps.
Yeah.
If you don't get approved, let us know, comment us down here below, and maybe we could figure out what's the difference or what changed. But Navy Federal is it's a gem. If you have it, you have access to it, use it, and it's good for you. It's good for your family. Set up for high credit limit, house, and as well
Yep.
as car loans. So
Yep.
it's going to be all
Everything.
0% down. So
Yeah.
I don't see why anybody wouldn't want to try it.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
And remember, the $10,000 credit card to be added on is optional. But if you do it, ask a family member, and it's really gonna boost your credit and the internal points with Navy Federal.
Awesome.
So
I think it'll be really good. We'll start doing more, specific videos on little things like this. If there's anything that you guys want us to touch base on, or any questions you guys may have, reach out to us, comment below, and let us know.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Comment below with any steps that you need help with, or if you did it, let us know how it went so that we can share, the good news of people pulling it off, because we've done it and I'm sure you're going to be able to do it, but you got to take the action.
Oh, definitely. And any veterans that would love to come on and talk about other things that may help younger active duty members or veterans, let us know. Reach out to us, and we'd love to have you by. Cool.
That was it.
All right.
Awesome. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Appreciate you guys.